Imagine a marathon. Now add scorching, oppressive heat. Remove all the water stations. Throw in a pack of wild dogs, a postman running in dress shoes, and a guy who hitchhiked to the finish line. Oh, and the winner? He was fueled by rat poison and alcohol. Welcome back to history's hidden pearls. Usually, pearls are found in the pristine depths of the ocean, but sometimes we find them in the mud. Today, we are polishing off the dirtiest, weirdest, and most dangerous pearl in sporting history, the 1904 St. Louis Olympic Marathon. A race so disastrous it nearly ended the Olympics forever. To understand this chaos, you have to understand the setting. It's 1904, St. Louis, Missouri. The organizers decided to tie the Olympics to the World's Fair. The problem? The organizers, specifically James Sullivan, wanted to test a theory. Sullivan believed that purposeful dehydration would test the limits of human endurance. So for a 24.8-mile race in scorching 90-degree heat, there was exactly one water station, located at the 11-mile mark. The course wasn't a track, it was a dust bowl. 7 hills, inches of loose dirt, and cars driving alongside the runners, kicking up so much dust that athletes were literally coughing up mud. It wasn't a race, it was a survival simulation. But the real pearls of this story are the participants. This wasn't a lineup of elite athletes as we know them today. It was a circus. First, meet Felix Carvajal, a Cuban postman who didn't have the money to get to St. Louis, so he ran across Cuba, gambled away his savings in New Orleans, and hitchhiked the rest of the way. He arrived at the starting line in dress shoes, long trousers, and a button-down shirt. A fellow Olympian had to cut his pants into shorts with scissors right there on the track. Then we have Len Tao and John Mashiani, Tswana tribesmen from South Africa who were actually in town for a Boer War reenactment at the World's Fair. They just decided to enter. They were the first black Africans to compete in the modern Olympics. And finally, the American favourite, Thomas Hicks. Remember his name? His strategy involved a team of scientists, a lot of confidence, and a very questionable medicine cabinet. The gun goes off. 32 runners start. Almost immediately, the chaos begins. The dust is so thick that William Garcia, a runner from California, collapses. The dust had coated his esophagus and ripped his stomach lining. He nearly bled to death internally. He was the first casualty. Meanwhile, our Cuban postman, Felix Carvajal, hasn't eaten in 40 hours. He stops the race to chat with spectators. He steals some peaches from a car. Then he finds an apple orchard. He eats some green apples. Bad idea. He gets severe stomach cramps and has to take a nap on the side of the road. Yes, he napped during the Olympics. Len Tao, the South African runner, was doing great. He was on track to finish in the top 5, but history has a twisted sense of humour. He was chased a mile off course by a pack of wild dogs. He still finished 9th. Then there's Fred Lords. Fred got cramps at mile 9, so he did what any rational person would do. He got in a car. His manager drove him the next 11 miles. The car broke down near the stadium, so Fred, fresh and rested, jogged into the stadium to break the tape. The crowd went wild. Alice Roosevelt, the president's daughter, was about to put the wreath on his head when someone yelled, "Hey, he was in a Buick!" Fred claimed it was just a joke. He was banned for life. Well, for a year. But the true horror story belongs to Thomas Hicks. By mile 10, Hicks was exhausted. His handlers refused to give him water. Instead, they gave him a mixture of egg whites and strychnine. In small doses, it was a stimulant. In large doses, it kills you. Hicks turned grey. He was hallucinating. He begged to lie down. His trainers forced him up and gave him more strychnine, washed down with brandy. By the time Hicks entered the stadium, he wasn't running. He was hallucinating that the finish line was 20 miles away. His trainers literally carried him, holding him up by his arms, his feet dragging in the dirt. He crossed the line and immediately collapsed. Doctors said if he had taken one more dose of strychnine, he would have died instantly. Out of 32 starters, only 14 finished. It was a race defined by cheating, near-death experiences, and raw incompetence. The 1904 marathon wasn't a display of athletic excellence. It was a comedy of errors. But that is exactly why it's a hidden pearl. It reminds us that history isn't always noble statues and gold medals. Sometimes it's a guy napping in an orchard and a winner fueled by rat poison. If you enjoyed digging up this pearl with us, hit that subscribe button. We have more hidden history waiting to be discovered. I'll see you in the next one.